Yeah, yeah. So kick it up, stir it up, alive and make me
There yet, Dr. Fishbone?
Patience, Pee-wee, patience!
Where are we going again?
Today, we're going to visit some underwater creatures that live in a colorful magic kingdom called Brazil.
Brazil? What is that?
Brazil is the largest country in both Latin and South America. It's the world's 5th largest country by both population and area, and also the largest with Portuguese as its official language. With an impressive coastline spanning over 4,600 miles, Brazil contains a vast tropical rainforest that's home to diverse wildlife and myriad ecological systems. This unique environment makes it one of only 17 mega-diverse countries in the world, and the subject of many global environmental protection interests.
Sounds like a great place to find new creatures for our Beastiopedia.
It is indeed.
Tell me more about Brazil, Doctor.
Sure thing, Pee-wee. Brazil's rich wildlife reflects its impressive variety of natural habitats. In fact, scientists have estimated that the total number of Brazil's plant and animal life could top 4 million. And its Amazon basin is home to an extremely diverse array of fish species, including the red-bellied piranha, which has a savage reputation, but is, in actuality, a very timid scavenger.
It's beautiful here. Beautiful water, and tons of different animal species everywhere you look.
That there is! Brazil boasts a seemingly endless roster of creatures that call it home. Creatures like the blue poison dart frog, the toco toucan, the Pantanal jaguar, the golden lion tamarin, and Lear's macaw are only a few whom we can spot on any given day here.
What underwater beasties are we looking for, Dr. Fishbone?
A stingray, Pee-wee. We're looking for a stingray.
What does a stingray look like?
Why, the stingray is a cartilaginous fish related to the shark. It generally has one or more barbed stingers, which are mainly used for defense as opposed to attack. But these stingers can reach 14 inches long and contain venom, so they mean business. And a rare few species of a stingray do not have stingers at all. Wait, I see one right over there. One very interesting fact about the stingray is the array of species in its family. The stingray contains about 220 different known species, and unfortunately, it's currently on the endangered species list, primarily as a result of unregulated fishing.
Endangered? Oh, I hate to hear that, Doctor. But the fact that there are so many stingrays in existence has to be a good thing, right?
It's always good to see a big number of animal species, Pee-wee. And despite their issues, stingrays are not in danger of disappearing tomorrow. They also have many ways of ensuring their survival, aside from their sheer numbers. Stingrays' flattened bodies allow them to effectively hide themselves in their environments by agitating the sand at the bottom of the water and camouflaging themselves in it.
Rad creature!
You said it, kid. Whatever that means. The stingray also cannot see its prey, instead using smell and sensitive electroreceptors, much like a shark, to hone in and attack their prey. They mainly feed on mollusks, crustaceans, and sometimes small fish. Some stingrays have shell-crushing plates in their mouths, while others have only strong sucking mouthparts.
Radical riptide rolls, that's news to me. How do most stingrays usually catch their prey, Doctor?
One common predatory technique that's been observed among stingrays, Pee-wee, is their tendency to ambush. They seek out suitable hiding spots, such as sand or coral, algae or rocks, that match its particular color patterns, and then lie in wait for their prey to appear.
Anchovy ambush? That's amazing! Let's go look for the next animal, Dr. Fishbone. What will it be?
Oh, looking low, looking lower and lower. We're trying to spot a hermit crab.
Look, is that what I think it is?
Good sighting, Pee-wee. Meet the somewhat reclusive hermit crab.
Wowza! What's the hermit crab hiding from, Doctor? Does he owe somebody money?
No, he probably doesn't deal with money, Pee-wee. The hermit crab is a decapod crustacean that possesses an asymmetrical abdomen concealed in a scavenged gastropod shell that it carries around.
That's crazy! So the hermit crab steals shells to hide in, then moves around in them.
That's right, Pee-wee. The hermit's soft abdomen is very vulnerable to predators, and it uses a variety of commandeered shells as shelter and shielding itself from attacks.
So the hermit crab lives its life in hiding, basically?
In a sense, yes. Most frequently, they use the shells of sea snails in which to hide, although some species use hollow pieces of wood or even rock. The tips of their abdomens are adapted to clasp strongly to these shells, keeping the hermit crab safe and secure inside.
Camouflaged clam bake. Do they ever emerge from their shells, Doctor? How does the hermit eat?
Well, as hermit crabs grow, they require larger and larger shells, Pee-wee. So yes, they do emerge, if only to switch housing sometimes. In the wild, hermits eat a variety of food, from fallen fruit to decaying wood to leaf litter, plants and grasses, to items washed up on shore. Hermits are not fussy eaters and have even been observed eating poop. Ugh.
Gross! Tell me more about the hermit crabs, Dr. Fishbone.
Happy to, Pee-wee. Hermit crabs can survive anywhere from 12 to 20 years and grow as big as coconuts. The shell-less hermit crab, also known as the coconut crab, is the world's largest terrestrial invertebrate.
Plankton platitudes. Is the hermit crab related to the king crab, Doctor?
Excellent question, Pee-wee. That's a fishbone of contention among scientists and researchers who argue to this day over whether the king and hermit crabs should be classified in the same genus. Some say yes, and some say no.
Rub my fish belly. That's mackerel madness. The hermit crab is really interesting. Whoa, look at that sea creature.
Ah, yes. Allow me to introduce the sea urchin, lad.
Tell me more, Dr. Fishbone.
The sea urchin is a small, spiny, globular animal that moves slowly, feeding mainly on algae. Urchin is an old word for the hedgehog, which sea urchins actually resemble.
Let's hear it for the urchin. Hip hip. A hedgehog in the ocean? Are they preyed upon frequently, Doctor?
Oh, they have their predators for sure, Pee-wee. Sea otters, starfish, triggerfish, wolf eels, and others hunt the sea urchin, making life tricky if they don't stay on guard. The sea urchin typically grows to anywhere from 2 to 5 inches, although the largest example of the species has been recorded at 14 inches.
That's a good bit of information for our underwater Beastiopedia.
Indeed!
Oh, look at that gnarly sea creature, Dr. Fishbone.
Oh, that's a lobster, kid.
Totally amazing.
They are. Lobsters have long bodies with muscular tails and live in crevices on the ocean floor. 3 of their 5 pairs of legs have claws, and they're highly prized as seafood to humans, commonly being one of the most profitable commodities of the coastal areas that they populate.
Sounds like a lobster's life is perilous, Doctor. So many people want to catch and eat them. What do they eat?
Lobsters like to eat clams, mussels, starfish, small fish, and sometimes even other lobsters. Lobsters have teeth, but not in their mouths, in their stomachs. Their food is chewed in their stomachs, between what appear to be 3 molars.
Chew-tastic.
Right! Lobsters generally grow anywhere from 10 to 20 inches long, moving by crawling slowly along the seafloor. However, when fleeing, they move rapidly backwards, curling and uncurling their abdomens. A speed of 11 miles per hour has been recorded.
Whoa, has the lobster always been a popular delicacy with people?
In North America, the lobster didn't achieve popularity until the mid-19th century, when elite New Yorkers and Bostonians developed a taste for it. Commercial lobster fisheries only flourished after the invention of the lobster smack, a custom-made boat designed to keep lobsters alive in on-deck holding wells during transport. Prior to this time, lobsters were considered a mark of poverty or food for the poor, indentured servants, or low-class members of society. Ha ha ha! How times have changed!
Bourgeoisie blasphemy. Totally awesome sea creature facts.
Another interesting factoid about lobsters is that they live alone in crevices, in rocky, sandy, or muddy bottoms, everywhere from the shoreline to the continental shelf.
Wild and woolly seaweed. I never knew that. Can lobsters see very well, Doctor?
Because they live in murky environments on the seafloor, lobsters use their antennae as sensors, which takes precedence over their eyesight. So they're not great with optics, but they compensate with superior senses.
There are certainly a lot of interesting sea creatures living in Brazil, Dr. Fishbone.
They certainly are, Pee-wee. Interesting sea creatures indeed. Ha-ha. But now you must get your turbo fins on, Pee-wee, for it's time to move on to our next destination, St. Croix.
Oh, yippee! I just can't wait to get there.
Let's get going then, Pee-wee. Great adventures in the sea are awaiting.
Ahoy, fishmates! We're off to sea with Dr. Fishbone and his assistant, Pee-wee. Together, they search the ocean deep, always looking for new fish to meet, new species to find and catalog for their Beastiopedia Ocean Guide.
Think we'll ever complete our research, Dr. Fishbone?
Probably not, Pee-wee. I've already cataloged over 1 million sea creature and plant species, and I'm always discovering more. It's a big ocean out there.
Are we there yet, Dr. Fishbone?
You ask a lot of questions for a young fish, you know that? Just relax. I'll take you where you need to go and tell you what you need to know. You follow?
Sure, man. Where are we going again?
Today, we're going to visit some underwater creatures that live in a sweet spot known as St. Croix.
St. Croix? Tell me about it.
Patience, Pee-wee. St. Croix is one of the largest islands in the Caribbean Sea, but its capital, Charlotte-Amalie, is actually located on St. Thomas. St. Croix's nickname is Twin City for the 2 towns that are found on opposite ends of the island. Weather-wise, trade winds blow the length of St. Croix, and the western hills receive considerably more rainfall than the east, which is a dry desert terrain featuring cactus. Meanwhile, the west is lush with trees and vegetation.
Sounds like a great place to find new creatures for our Beastiopedia.
It is indeed.
Tell me more about St. Croix.
I said patience, Pee-wee. Despite being an island, St. Croix has a decided lack of fresh groundwater, streams, and rivers running through it. So much so that many residential homes and businesses feature built-in cisterns to harvest rainwater.
It's beautiful here. What can you tell me about the underwater life in St. Croix, Doctor?
St. Croix is famous for its beautiful beaches and magical underwater worlds. Let's go explore!
What underwater beasties are we looking for, Dr. Fishbone?
Keep your wits about you, Pee-wee, because today we're seeking the notorious moray eel. You heard it right, we're looking for a moray eel.
Yay! Exciting! What does a moray eel look like, Dr. Fishbone?
The moray eel has 2 sets of jaws and can weigh up to 66 pounds. Most are nocturnal animals, and some display blunt teeth for crushing hard-shelled prey. The green moray is actually brown, and the long fin on their backs is actually a fusion of 3 smaller ones. Oh, wait! I see one right over there! One interesting fact about moray eels is that they are often regarded as particularly vicious or ill-tempered animals, but this is not necessarily true. The truth is, the moray eel would almost always rather flee than fight. This eel is shy and secretive and is known to attack humans only in cases of mistaken identity or perceived self-defense. Most attacks stem from disturbing a moray's burrow, an act which they do not take lightly.
Sheesh, do morays ever interact well with humans, or is it always a dicey proposition?
Well, it can work out to everyone's liking in certain situations, Pee-wee. For example, many dive companies use the activity of their divers hand-feeding moray eels as a means of attracting paying tourists. But morays have poor vision and rely heavily on their sense of smell to eat, making distinguishing between held food and fingers difficult. A number of unlucky divers have lost fingers while attempting to hand-feed the moray. Its hooked teeth and powerful bite makes bites on humans particularly severe, as the moray eel cannot release its grip, even in death, and must be manually pried off.
Yikes. What a fascinating creature.
You can say that again, Pee-wee. And one of the moray's most ominous gestures that strikes fear into the hearts of many who witness it, the slow opening and closing of its intimidating jaws, is actually a function of necessity. It breathes through its mouth and has to do that to survive.
Blasting boat engines. That's news to me. Do moray eels have very big bites, Doctor?
There's an interesting answer to that question, Pee-wee. Most morays' heads are too narrow to create the low pressure that most fish use to swallow prey. So the moray has another set of sharp teeth set into its throat. When feeding, they launch these jaws into their mouths, then retract them to help guide the food through their throats and into their stomachs.
Dynamic digestions. Let's go look for the next sea animal, Dr. Fishbone. What will it be?
I'll bet you opened your presents before Christmas morning, didn't you? We're trying to spot brain coral.
Look, is that it over there?
Good sighting, my pupil. That is indeed an example of brain coral.
What in tarnation is brain coral, Doctor?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Brain coral looks like a plant, but it's an animal. It has a flattened H-shaped figure and can actually live for hundreds of years.
Whoa, like a vampire?
Well, in a sense, yes. The brain coral doesn't get along well with other coral, and it's endangered. They get most of their nutrition from floating invertebrates and extend their long tentacles to catch food at night. During the day, these tentacles serve as protection as the coral wraps them around the grooves in its surface. This surface is hard and offers protection against both animals and hurricanes.
Huh. The brain coral sounds pretty relaxed. Is that true, Doctor?
Actually, the brain coral is semi-aggressive. It will commonly sting other corals with its extended sweepers during the night, just because they find themselves within its range.
Well, I take it back then. I guess they're pretty mean. Does the brain coral have any predators to watch out for?
It does, Pee-wee. The brain coral is preyed upon by gastropods and the parrotfish in particular.
Anchovy action. Tell me more about brain coral, Dr. Fishbone.
Will do. Brain coral is found in shallow, warm water reefs in all of the planet's oceans, and its colonies have been known to grow 6 feet or more in height.
Super fish fin, that's cool. Why exactly is it called brain coral?
The brain coral gets its name on account of its spherical, deep-grooved shape. It looks like a brain.
Well, fish hook my slack jaws. Whoa, look at that thing.
It's interesting looking, isn't it? That's the fire coral.
Me, oh my. Hit my fish brain with more knowledge, Dr. Fishbone.
Happily, my student. Fire coral is actually a colonial marine organism that displays characteristics similar to that of coral. The name coral is somewhat misleading, as the fire coral more closely resembles hydra and other hydrozoans.
Coral craziness. Does all fire coral look the same, Doctor?
Pretty much, Pee-wee. Fire corals have bright yellow, green, and brown skeletal coverings and are widely found in tropical waters, appearing as brush-like growths on rocks and coral. Divers often mistake fire coral for seaweed, and great pain usually ensues, hence the name.
Ouch!
Oh, upon contact, intense pain is felt, usually lasting anywhere from 2 days to 2 weeks.
That's a good bit of information for our underwater bestialpedia. What causes the pain, Doctor?
Indeed. The pain of touching fire coral comes from its tiny tentacles or sharp skeleton that can painfully pierce and scrape the human skin.
Ooh, look at that really cool sea creature, Dr. Fishbone.
Well, that's a lionfish, Pee-wee.
Totally gnarly.
That they are. Lionfish are native to the Indo-Pacific and characterized by their conspicuous warning coloration with red, white, cream, or black bands, showy pectoral fins, and spiky fin rays.
Warning colors? What are they warning about, Doctor?
Lionfish are slow-moving and very noticeable, so they rely on their unusual colors to discourage would-be predators from eating them, Pee-wee.
Amazing.
Currently, lionfish populations are exploding, and the recent invasion of these fish into the Caribbean is considered to be the most serious threat to coral reef ecosystems in modern times. As a response, there have been numerous public campaigns to encourage the hunting and consumption of the lionfish as one basic means of controlling its exploding numbers. Once it's stripped of its venomous spines, the lionfish is generally regarded as delectable seafood fare.
Whoa!
Lionfish are even more visually interesting when they're young, with wigglers and fleshy nubs over their eyes and under their mouths. And as for their natural habitat, they've been visually confirmed at depths of 1,000 feet in the Bahamas.
Totally awesome sea creature facts!
Lionfish are thought to be nocturnal hunters, but one hole in this theory is the discovery of lionfish with full bellies during the day in the Atlantic Ocean.
Amazing sea bubbles. I never knew that. Lions are pretty big animals. What about the size of the lionfish, Doctor? Are they huge?
Anything but, Pee-wee. Lionfish generally grow to anywhere from 1 inch to 18 inches.
There are certainly a lot of interesting sea creatures living in St. Croix, Dr. Fishbone.
There certainly are, Pee-wee. Interesting sea creatures indeed. But now, you must get your turbo fins on, Pee-wee, for it's off to our next destination, Baja California.
Yippee! Oh, I just can't wait to get there, Dr. Fishbone.
Let's get going then, Pee-wee. Great adventures in the sea are awaiting.
Ahoy, fish mates! We're off to sea with Dr. Fishbone and his assistant, Pee-wee. Together they search the ocean deep, always looking for new fish to meet, new species to find and catalog for their Beastiopedia Ocean Guide.
Think we'll ever complete our research, Dr. Fishbone?
If we do, who will you nag all day and all night? But we probably won't. Lots to do. As they say, Pee-wee, there's a lot of fish in the sea.
Are we there yet, Dr. Fishbone?
What's the matter, kid? Fishing line got your tail?
No, I don't think so. Where are we going again?
Today, we're going to visit some underwater creatures that live in a very special place called Baja California.
Baja California? Where's that?
Baja California is a Mexican state on the Baja California Peninsula, bordering the U.S. state of California, which is not the same thing, with a landscape that spans mountains and beaches.
Sounds like a great place to find new creatures for our Beastiopedia.
It is indeed.
Tell me more about Baja California, Doctor.
Okay, pay attention. Here goes, Pee-wee. Baja California is the 12th largest state in Mexico, with rich geography ranging from beaches to forests to deserts. It has numerous islands scattered off both its shores that are all host to Baja's rich and varied marine life.
It's beautiful here. Rippling blue water, sunny skies, fluffy clouds, happy faces.
Baja California is famous for its beautiful beaches and for its rich ocean life. Let's go explore.
What underwater beasties are we looking for, Dr. Fishbone?
The rockfish. We're looking for a rockfish.
Rock and roll. What does a rockfish look like, Dr. Fishbone?
The rockfish is a term applied to several species of fish, all named for their instinctive affinity for hiding among the rocks on the seafloor. They generally have a bass-like appearance with jutting lower jaws, compressed bodies, and big eyes and mouths. Wait, I see one right over there.
Hey, rockfish, my friend!
One very interesting fact about rockfish is their excellent talent for hovering motionless in the water. Some species of rockfish like to school, while others are solitary and territorial.
Wow! Are they the solitary species, always on the move, swimming from reef to reef?
No, Pee-wee, quite the opposite. Solitary rockfish tend to rest on the sea bottom or in reefs, and a rockfish span a wide swath of ocean. They typically inhabit water anywhere from 40 foot to 2,000 feet deep.
What a cool creature!
Indeed, Pee-wee. The rockfish is one of the most unique fish you can find in the sea. Did you know that some rockfish live to be 100 years old or older?
Starfish face claw, that's news to me. What do rockfish eat, Doctor?
Oh, they eat shrimp, fish, crabs, squid, jellyfish, plankton, and algae. All the hallmarks of a great natural seafood diet.
Yum. Let's go look for the next sea animal, Dr. Fishbone. What will it be?
Put on your X-ray goggles. Oh, we're trying to spot a jellyfish.
Look, I think I see one now.
Good sighting, Pee-wee. Allow me to introduce you to the famous jellyfish. It's a soft-bodied, free-swimming aquatic animal with a distinctive gelatinous umbrella-shaped bell and trailing tentacles.
Wow, what an interesting creature. What's the purpose of that umbrella-shaped bell, Doctor?
The bell can pulsate to give the jellyfish propulsion and locomotion, kind of like a built-in jellyfish turbo boost.
Awesome! What habitats do jellyfish enjoy, Doctor?
Jellyfish are found in every ocean, from the surface to the deep sea. Jellyfish have roamed the seas for at least 500 million years, and possibly 700 million, making it the oldest multi-organ animal on the planet.
Prehistoric prawn mania! I had no idea jellyfish were so old.
Old is an understatement, Pee-wee. Jellyfish have existed long before us, or even the dinosaurs.
Holy halibut! How long has this species been called a jellyfish?
The first recorded use of the name jellyfish was in the year 1707.
Fish sticks! Tell me more about the jellyfish, Dr. Fishbone.
No problem, PW. The largest jellyfish ever found was a lion's mane jellyfish with a diameter of 7 feet 6 inches and 120-foot long tentacles.
Radical rockfish! That's cool! Jellyfish look so ghostly to me. Are they solid animals?
Interestingly, jellyfish are 95% water, and if a jellyfish is cut in two, it will regenerate as 2 jellyfish.
Well, scratch my fish scales. Whoa, look at that sea creature.
I'm looking, Pee-wee. Oh, that's what we call a Garibaldi.
A Garibaldi. Hit my fish brain with more knowledge, Dr. Fishbone.
The Garibaldi is a species of bright orange fish in the damselfish family. They originate in the subtropical part of the Pacific Ocean, and the male Garibaldi aggressively defends its nest after the female has laid her eggs.
Marlin madness! Why are these fish called Garibaldis, Doctor? It's a little bit of an unusual name, you have to admit. Sounds like a human Italian mobster hiding out under the sea. Wait, it's not, right?
No, Pee-wee, it's not. But, almost. It's a reference to the Italian military figure Giuseppe Garibaldi, whose followers characteristically wore scarlet shirts that resembled this fish's color. Garibaldis feed mainly on invertebrates, which they remove from rocks. Adult Garibaldis create a home territory where the male clears a nest space for the female to lay her eggs. The male guards the nest closely until the eggs hatch, going so far as to attack any fish, or even human, who swims too close to their nest.
That's a good bit of information for our underwater Beastiopedia.
Indeed.
Ooh, look at that really cool sea creature, Dr. Fishbone.
That's what we call a grouper, Pee-wee.
Boat bumping awesomeness.
That it is. There are over 100 types of grouper, and their body markings change to camouflage them with their backgrounds. Groupers are considered the best fish to serve by many seafood chefs, with its texture often being compared to a cloud.
Wow, I bet the grouper isn't happy about that.
Probably not, Pee-wee. And the grouper can live up to 50 years. That's a long time to hold a grudge.
Amazing!
Right! And the grouper can get big, too. The Atlantic Goliath grouper reaches 8 feet in length and up to 800 pounds.
Whoa!
The grouper is a slow swimmer with a body not made to swim fast, nor for long distances.
Totally gnarly sea creature factoids!
Another interesting factoid about groupers is that they are born and mature as females, but have the ability to change into the opposite sex after they reach sexual maturity.
Floating flounder, I never knew that.
Groupers also live in small groups containing one male and 3 to 15 females. If the male dies, the larger female will change sex to take over the harem.
Craziness! There are certainly a lot of interesting sea creatures living in Baja California, Dr. Fishbone.
There certainly are, Pee-wee. Interesting sea creatures indeed. But now you must get your turbo fins on, Pee-wee, for it's time to move on to our next destination, the Galapagos Islands.
Oh, yippee! I just can't wait to get there, Doc.
Let's get going then, Pee-wee. Great adventures in the sea are awaiting.
Ahoy, fish mates! We're off to sea with Dr. Fishbone and his assistant Pee-wee. Together, they search the ocean deep, always looking for new fish to meet, new species to find and to catalog for their Beastiopedia Ocean Guide.
Think we'll ever complete our research, Dr. Fishbone?
You just never know in our business, Pee-wee. I've already cataloged over 1 million sea creature and plant species, and I'm always discovering more. As they say, there's a plankton of fish in the sea. Plankton. Get it? Plankton.
Are we there yet, Dr. Fishbone?
Why? Are your fins getting tired, youngster?
Where are we going again?
Today, we're going to visit some underwater creatures that live in a paradise on Earth called the Galapagos Islands.
Galapagos Islands? What are they all about?
The Galapagos Islands are a collection of volcanic islands that are a part of the Republic of Ecuador, consisting of 18 main islands, 3 smaller islands, and 107 islets. The principal language spoken there is Spanish, and the population is just over 25,000. The islands and their surrounding waters form the Galapagos National Park, Galapagos Marine Reserve, and the Galapagos Province of Ecuador.
Sounds like a great place to find new creatures for our Beastiopedia.
It is indeed.
Tell me more about the Galapagos Islands, Doctor.
My pleasure, Pee-wee. As lyrical as Galapagos can be, the islands have been known for their volcanic activity for a very long time. Isabella Island alone contains 6 major volcanoes, with the most recent eruptions ranging from 1813 to 2008.
Whoa!
The neighboring islands of Santiago and Fernandina last erupted in 1906 and 2009, respectively. Despite the flowing lava, Galapagos is a host to a wide variety of vegetation and animal life. Some of the creatures that call the islands home are the Galapagos land iguana, the marine iguana, the sea cucumber, the flightless cormorant, the blue-footed booby, the waved albatross, the Galapagos penguin, the Galapagos hawk, and many, many more.
It's beautiful here. Clear water, sea life bustling just beneath the clear crystal waves.
Indeed. The Galapagos Islands are famous for their beautiful beaches and underwater coral reefs and coves. Let's go explore!
What underwater beasties are we looking for, Dr. Fishbone?
Today we seek the dolphin, Pee-wee. We're looking for a dolphin.
What does a dolphin look like, Doc?
A dolphin has a sleek, streamlined body with 2 limbs modified into flippers. They have conical-shaped teeth and well-developed hearing that can adapt to both water and air. Dolphins communicate with each other through a series of distinctive clicks and whistles, and they use blowholes atop their heads to breathe. Wait! I see one right over there! One very interesting fact about the dolphin, aside from their excellent hearing and eyesight, is their use of echolocation to determine the exact location of objects in the sea.
Echolocation? What's that?
Echolocation is the location of objects through the use of reflected sound. Dolphins, and bats in particular, are known to use this method.
What an awesome, impressive fish!
Not a fish, Pee-wee, but a mammal. And it is impressive indeed. Along with their clicks and whistles, dolphins also use nonverbal means of communication, like touch and posturing.
Algae-tastic, that's news to me. Are dolphins very intelligent, Doctor?
Yes, they are, Pee-wee. Dolphins are believed to be highly intelligent creatures based on their activities, social ability, tasking, and the playful attitude which makes them popular with humans.
Let's go look for the next sea animal, Dr. Fishbone. Say, what'll it be?
Looking high, looking low. Oh, we're trying to spot an orca.
Oh, wow, just look at that magical creature.
Good sighting, Pee-wee. Meet one of the most instantly identifiable creatures in all the sea, the orca, also known as the killer whale.
Killer whale? They sound vicious.
The name certainly does imply a vicious streak, but the orca is actually the largest member of the dolphin family, also a mammal.
Get out, they're related? But dolphins are so cute and friendly, and these guys, they're a little intimidating.
Well, the orca is a rare kind of creature, Pee-wee, in that it is an apex predator, meaning it is at the top of its food chain, and there is no animal that preys on it.
So no one is strong enough to prey on the orca? No wonder it's called the killer whale. Now I'm really terrified.
The orca is actually very beautiful and awe-inspiring if you take the time to really look at one. It has a diverse diet, some feeding exclusively on fish, while others hunt marine life like seals and even dolphins. Orcas are highly social creatures with matrilineal family groups that are considered the most stable of any animal species in the world.
So the orca has a tight-knit family unit? They love their parents and their little ones?
They do, Pee-wee. Orcas have sophisticated vocal behaviors and hunting techniques that are often passed down through generations of relatives, like learning an old song from your grandpa.
Traditional trout tricks, that's not so scary. Tell me more about orcas, Dr. F.
Orcas are found in all the world's oceans, and most male orcas never leave their mothers.
Mama's boys. That's cool. Do orcas communicate with each other easily?
Like the dolphin, they communicate through a series of clicks and whistles and pulsed calls, and each family has its own dialect of calls that are passed down that only they use.
Snare my snapper lip. Whoa, look at that sea creature. It's huge.
It's been a while. Pee-wee, I'd like you to meet the humpback whale, another incredible mammal of the sea.
Good golly, Goliath. Hit my fish brain with more knowledge, Dr. Fishbone.
Well, the humpback whale is huge, ranging in length from 39 to 52 feet, and weighing up to a whopping 79,000 pounds.
Vesselmania. That's enormous. What do humpbacks eat? Everything in sight?
No, Pee-wee. Humpback whales eat mostly small fish and krill. Granted, they can consume a lot of small fish. The male humpback is famous for producing a complex song that lasts between 10 and 20 minutes, which they'll repeat for hours at a time. The exact purpose of this song isn't clear, though it could have something to do with mating.
Oh, look at that really cool sea creature, Dr. Fishbone. He looks wacky, woolly, and fun.
I see it. Oh, that's a sea lion, Pee-wee.
He looks more fun than a barrel of guppies.
He probably is. Sea lions are mammals characterized by their distinctive foreflappers, external ear flaps, ability to walk on all fours, short, thick hair, and that big chest and belly.
Sounds like my Uncle Pat.
Ha 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 ha! Or maybe he is a sea lion. They have an average lifespan of 20 to 30 years, and the largest species is Steller's sea lion, which weighs over 2,000 pounds and can grow longer than 10 feet.
Amazing!
While sea lion attacks on humans are rare, it's unadvisable to get too close to this animal in the wild. They can have a tendency to be territorial or view small humans as toys, like rag dolls, to be played with roughly.
Whoa, frightful fish eggs. I'll keep my distance.
Smart move, Pee-wee. Sea lions communicate in a variety of ways, although scientists are still in the dark as to what all of their sounds mean. They travel in large colonies with smaller subgroups within those colonies. During a sea lion's lifetime, it's not uncommon to move from subgroup to subgroup, so sea lions enjoy being a part of cliques.
Reminds me of fish school. Totally awesome sea creature facts.
Another interesting factoid about the sea lion is that the northern Atlantic Ocean is off limits to them. They can be found in every ocean in the world except that one, and no one knows why they reject it.
Goodness, I never knew that. Are they a very popular animal?
Indeed, Pee-wee. The sea lion has been a main focus of tourism in New Zealand and Australia for a long time, and they're sometimes called the unofficial welcoming committee of the Galapagos Islands.
There are certainly a lot of interesting sea creatures living in the Galapagos Islands, Dr. Fishbone.
There certainly are, Pee-wee. Interesting sea creatures indeed. But now you must get your turbo fins on, Pee-wee, for it's time to move on to our next destination, California!
Yowza, I just can't wait to get there, Dr. F.
Let's get going then, Pee-wee. Great adventures in the sea are awaiting!
Ahoy, fish mates! We're off to sea with Dr. Fishbone and his assistant, Pee-wee. Together they search the ocean deep, always looking for new fish to meet, new species to find and to catalog for their Beastiopedia Ocean Guide.
Let's go look for the next sea animal, Dr. Fishbone. What will it be?
It will be very handsy, I'm afraid. We're trying to spot the octopus.
Look, I think I see one now.
Nice, Pee-wee! The octopus is one of the ocean's most amazing creatures, bar none. It's an all-soft-bodied, 8-armed mollusk with 2 eyes, a beak, and a mouth at the center point of its arms.
What? Are you describing an alien, Dr. Fishbone?
Almost. The octopus can alter its body on a whim, fitting through surprisingly narrow spaces when desired.
Super shapeshifter. Tell me more about this octopus.
I'd be delighted to, Pee-wee. The octopus trails its 8 long arms behind it as it swims. People often mistakenly refer to these arms as tentacles, but that's technically not the case. These marvels have complex nervous systems, excellent sight, and are among the ocean's most behaviorally diverse creatures.
The octopus sounds incredible. What do they eat, Doctor?
Good question, Pee-wee. Nearly all octopuses are predatory. Bottom-dwelling ones eat worms, crustaceans, and other mollusks like clams, while open ocean octopuses mainly eat prawns and fish. It commonly rejects prey such as moon snails and rock scallops on account of their being too affixed to the rocks to eat.
Wow. What about their life expectancy? How long do octopuses usually live, Doctor?
And they have a relatively short life expectancy, with some species only living as long as 6 months. Larger octopuses, like the giant Pacific octopus, can live as long as 5 years. Their lifespans are limited to their reproduction. Male octopuses only live on a few months after mating, while females die shortly after their eggs hatch.
Bluefish bummer. So then octopuses don't really get to know their parents?
No, but it's not necessarily a sad thing, Pee-wee. It's just how their cycles of life work. They don't know any other way, so an octopus is perfectly happy without a mom or a dad.
Crawling king crab. Tell me more about the octopus, Dr. Fishbone.
Well, grab your fishnet, Pee-wee, 'cause I'm dropping science. The octopus can be found in every ocean, and different species have adapted to different environments. From shallow tide pools to coral reefs to pelagic waters to seagrass beds to cold open waters, octopuses adapt to whatever habitat they find themselves in. But no octopus has ever been known to live in fresh water.
Hey, they say stick to what you know. That's cool. With so many legs, does the octopus move very fast?
Oh, it depends, Pee-wee. Octopuses mainly move by a slow crawling or swimming in a head-first position. Jet propulsion, or backward swimming, is their quickest means of movement. When in no hurry, they usually crawl with their arms, and during crawling, their heart rate doubles. And octopuses commonly need 10 or 15 minutes to recover from relatively minor exercise.
Whoa, look at that sea creature.
Haha, unique, eh? That's the seahorse.
Dorsal dolphin dances. Hit my fish brain with more knowledge, Dr. Fishbone.
A seahorse is the name given to 54 small marine fish in the Hippocampus genus. Hippocampus comes from the Greek word hippos, meaning horse, and campos, meaning sea monster.
Kraken mania! Horses are big animals. Are seahorses as big as land horses?
No, Pee-wee, not even close. The seahorse commonly grows to anywhere between a ½ inch and 14 inches. So there's a big difference between the size of the seahorse and the land horse. One trait specific to the seahorse is reproductive role reversal. When mating, the female seahorse deposits her eggs into the male's ventral pouch. He carries these eggs for 9 to 45 days before giving birth to anywhere between 100 to 1,000 baby seahorses.
That's a good bit of information for our underwater beastiopedia.
Indeed.
Holy halibut, what fish-tactic factoids! There are certainly a lot of interesting sea creatures living in Acapulco, Dr. Fishbone.
They certainly are, Pee-wee. Interesting sea creatures indeed. Oh, but now you must get your turbo fins on, Pee-wee, for it's time to move on to our next destination, Brazil.
Oh, woohoo! I just can't wait to get there, Dr. Fishbone.
Let's get going then, Pee-wee. Great adventures in the sea are awaiting.
Ahoy, fish mates! We're off to sea with Dr. Fishbone and his assistant Pee-wee. Together they search the ocean deep, always looking for new fish to meet, new species to find and catalog for their Beastiopedia Ocean Guide.
Think we'll ever complete our research, Dr. Fishbone?
Probably not, Pee-wee. I have already cataloged over 1 million sea creatures and plant species, and I'm always discovering more. As they say, Pee-wee, there's a lot of fish in the sea.